Hey guys, All in Crypto here and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. In this video, I thought we would cover Filecoin. Filecoin, as I'm sure a lot of you have seen, has shot into the top 10 cryptocurrencies in terms of market cap. There is a reason for this. The concepts behind Filecoin, to me, are very interesting and also real proof that when I talk to you on this channel about blockchain technology being extremely disruptive in a similar way to perhaps the internet and how the internet changed things, Filecoin is a perfect example of that. Now, we're going to cover what Filecoin is. We're going to take a look at the price, where it is today, where we think it could get to. We're going to look at some factors that are involved in Filecoin, such as the Grayscale Trust. We're going to look at Protocol Labs, which was the company that actually founded Filecoin and why they are exceptionally interested. And of course, being the kind of parent company of Filecoin, or certainly the creators of Filecoin, we're going to touch on them kind of briefly throughout the video. So Filecoin today, guys, is sat at $232. Currently has a market cap of $14.7 billion. So it is shot into the top 10. I think it knocked Litecoin off its spot and has performed, very, very well. I do not personally own any Filecoin. However, I kind of, in some respects, maybe would like to have picked some up, but I'm totally fine not owning it. I have, around about 40 cryptocurrencies. I've actually culled some of my portfolio recently. And just Filecoin just doesn't happen to be one of them because I don't want to be sort of too spread out. But I think it's a very interesting project, and I think if there's people out there that are looking to get into Filecoin, this is going to be a video to kind of help you. So what is Filecoin? Well, Filecoin was created by Protocol Labs. Protocol Labs is a company, I think they're based out of San Francisco, that essentially is, Protocol Labs is building the next generation of the internet. Now, one problem, if they were going to build the sort of next generation of the internet, they would need to, part of the internet is storage and data. So they would need to sort of build a system or a mechanism, or in this case, a blockchain that dealt with data. That is essentially what Filecoin is. It is a storage blockchain. And what I mean by that is it stores data in a decentralized way. The blockchain is really just the kind of messaging service, the ledger in it. But I think it's very, very genius. You can mine Filecoin, and you don't mine it in a traditional way that perhaps you mine Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of the other kind of proof of work consensuses. You mine it by essentially allocating your storage power to the network. You get rewarded. You can get penalized as well in a lot of cases if you perhaps you have an agreement with somebody who's looking to use the Filecoin network to store data and you don't store it, you will lose your stake in Filecoin. So in order for you to essentially mine, or one of the ways you can mine Filecoin, there's a couple of ways. You can also get block rewards from Filecoin. I don't want to make this too technical, but we're just going to touch on it. Is you can actually provide your storage power that you have on your computer, or if you have a specialized rig or whatever it is, and essentially you will get rewarded for doing so. You need Filecoin or the native token Fil to essentially stake. And this is really so that if you're a bad actor, let's say you decide to, you've made an agreement with a client, you don't store their data, you say you do, but you don't, you delete it, you will get your Filecoin essentially slashed as a result of this. So it's very, very interesting. Like I say, what Protocol Labs is doing, in my opinion, is a very interesting concept. They're kind of trying to decentralize and make a more sufficient internet. A decentralized internet has been very much not able to have happened because it's expensive, slow, list of reasons. But now, as a result of blockchain technology, it's really been enabled. And we do absolutely know with certainty that a large part of the internet is centralized, and there's only a couple of companies that really, when it comes to data, Google, a number of other companies, a very small number of companies essentially control the market on data. Filecoin will essentially make it so that me, you, anybody that wants to contribute to the network can do it, and they do it in a decentralized manner where they essentially localize data. So it's very, very, very interesting. So, for example, like a good example would be, let's say, there's a large volume of people in, a city that want to stream music, a certain genre of music. Filecoin will essentially allocate or localize certain music genres storage space through whoever decides to contribute to the network in that city. So it's localized, it means it's faster, and we're talking about milliseconds faster, but it makes all the difference when we're talking about things like streaming and streaming data, etc., etc. So there are definitely some significant benefits to Filecoin. Now, if we take a look at Filecoin in terms of price, I hope I haven't overcomplicated that. The basics of Filecoin is it is a storage sort of blockchain that deals with storing data in a decentralized way. Anyone can sort of participate and donate their storage power to the network. And I just think that's genius. And there was a little segment where they were talking about space, if we ever make and colonize other planets, how you could actually localize data so that other planets could interact with each other via the internet. But that's way over the scope of this video. So the first thing I want to touch on before I touch on price is Grayscale have indeed added a Filecoin trust. Grayscale Filecoin trust is solely and passively invested in Filecoin, enabling investors to gain exposure to FIL in the form of a security while avoiding the challenges of buying, storing, and safekeeping FIL directly. So the whole kind of idea of cryptocurrencies was that it was going to be peer-to-peer, or certainly that was the idea of Bitcoin. Of course, you are going to have middlemen like Grayscale stepping involved, and you can see why, perhaps from a traditional finance sort of viewpoint, because a lot of these sort of big players, they don't want something that is unregulated. They don't want to get involved in something that is unregulated and has a risk as a result of that. What Grayscale have done is have essentially regulated it in the form of a security, like you have like BTC, which is Grayscale's BTC, which allows traditional finance to essentially get into it. So this is huge, and you can obviously tell that Grayscale have a kind of vested interest in Filecoin. But when we look at the price of Filecoin, I mean, it's done exceptionally well. I mean, in the past month, it's done very, very well. I mean, at the start of the month, we were at around about $36. And today, we're up at $233. So well done to anybody who got into Filecoin. I think, you know, if you kind of understood what this protocol was trying to do, what Filecoin was, there definitely is value in it. That is a no-brainer. I can't remember what the total supply was. I think it was 33 million, perhaps. There's currently, and that was over like 30 years. There's 63.2 million right now Filecoin in existence. So the supply is going to grow over the next sort of coming years. But when we look at data and we look at it as an industry, that continues to grow year on year on year. You know, it's kind of an inevitability with more people being born each year, essentially, and population is growing, and, you know, more people using smartphones and stuff like that. Data storage is going to continue to grow. So you could see, certainly if people decide to move over to this technology, this kind of decentralized technology, because it makes data localized, long list of reasons. It can make it cheaper in a lot of aspects. And certainly you can. There's also a privacy element to Filecoin and how it stores data. You know, theoretically, normal companies can't necessarily share your data, but they do. When I say they can't, it's not that they, you know, a lot of sort of browsers and stuff like that will actually sell your data on. It becomes almost a commodity, whereas in Filecoin, it's a commodity in a different kind of sense. It's a commodity in the sense that you can actually store somebody's data and make money from it. So it's kind of commoditized data, but for everybody, not just these big corporates. So like I said, I didn't want this to be too technical. I'm just touching on, you know, I think it's a very, very interesting project. I maybe wish I got a position in it earlier. I think it's going to continue to perform exceptionally well. It has a $14 billion market cap right now. You could see that in the hundreds of billions in the future, as this space grows, as the crypto space grows, as everything grows around it. But for this cycle, for those of you who don't know, I follow the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory. I think 2021 is akin to 2017 in how we're going to have volatile moves to the upside. It's a bull market. Perhaps it's hard to kind of say. Could you see it at maybe a $50 billion market? Absolutely, which would, you know, put the price of Filecoin at around about $1,200, something like that. Absolutely. But for me, Filecoin's done exceptionally well right now. I am not going to be chasing into this. If it has a significant pullback, perhaps. However, like I say, I'm very diversified in the crypto space and don't want to make that overly diversified. I think diversification is a great thing. However, I think over diversification can actually be very detrimental to your portfolio. And I think perhaps in a bull market when everything kind of goes up with Bitcoin, perhaps that might not be such a bad thing. But for me, I've got sort of 40 cryptos. I did have around about 60, but I've kind of culled them off, and I've got around about 40 that I kind of keep, and I'm very vested in. Whereas something like Filecoin, I think in some respects I might be too late to the party. But like I say, congratulations to anybody who does own Filecoin. I think it's a fantastic project. I think what Protocol Labs are doing is amazing. I can certainly back that up. And I think Filecoin is going to do exceptionally well this year, and it is tackling a real world issue. And like I say, just more confirmation for me that blockchain technology is really as disruptive as I believe it is, and as it essentially is. I was listening to an interview with Gavin Wood the other day, and he's known how sort of revolutionary blockchain technology actually is for a long time. I think people are starting to wake up to that now and really understand the potential. And there's limits to how much you can kind of understand the potential. The same way when the internet first came out, people were wary of it. Nobody really understood that it was going to be integrated into everything. We all use the internet on a daily basis now. I think blockchain technology is akin to that in many ways. And something like Filecoin is serving a real role. And another perfect example of this technology, changing the world essentially. So that is all I have for you in this video, guys. Filecoin, exceptionally interesting. If you've enjoyed this content, a like is always appreciated. Comments are, I definitely want you to comment on these videos because I do these for you. I want to know your feedback. That is important to me, whether it's good or bad. Just be mature about it. And that is all I really have for you in this video, guys. So I'm going to love and leave you. Get subscribed to one of the fastest and realest growing realist YouTube channels out there. And like I say, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day.